We're in the gondola. We're in number 27. It's nice and clean. Looks new.
He looks thrilled.
Thrilled.
These are really big.
I like that the doors are floor to ceiling clear, so you can see. There's the aquarium, and up there somewhere was Pike Place Market, and it was past those red umbrellas. See all the construction?
Yeah.
Here's Meg. But we're looking into the sun right now.
I like the mountain.
Maybe when we're at the tippy top.
Yeah.
I like the mountain.
You're also both wearing sunglasses.
It's because we're cool. Yeah, the mountain is cool. That's Mount Rainier.
Yeah, she was on the
Okay,
ship.
so there's Quantum of the Seas.
How can you identify all the ships? It's amazing.
I know them all, yeah. The kids are amazed that I can identify cruise ships from so far away.
Nerd.
There was a couple, cruise ship nerd. There was a couple checking into our hotel this morning as we were checking out, and she had a Quantum of the Seas Spirit jersey on, and I said, oh, they must have just got off. And sure enough, there it is. That's kind of funny, though, because it's Monday.
Ben, look, the cars are driving out of the ferry.
But maybe they have to do that because of how many cruise ships there are. Where are the cars driving onto the ferry?
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's windy, I'm scared.
It's windy and we're rocking.
We're also moving. Argosy?
Yep,
The
we're
one-
going on Argosy, the white one right
They're
there.
both called Argosy.
Well, it's Argosy Cruises.
They're all called
the one with-
Argosy.
The one
Every
with
single one.
the one with the cool thing at the
Okay,
the one on the left, not the black one,
Okay.
but the one on the left.
Yeah, I think that's the one we're going on.
The one with
So,
the cool bow.
right after this, we're going on, we
The
think,
boat.
that boat.
What
For
is
our
that
harbor
plane
tour.
doing?
What plane?
That one up there in the sky.
Coming in for a landing.
It's going crooked.
Oh,
Ferry
what
is
the?
loading. There's
That's
2
fun.
stadiums over here. I can't remember. Andrew told me what they were, but I
The
forgot.
left one is the football, the right one is the baseball.
Okay. Wow, it's really windy.
Yeah. It's whipping through.
This mural on this building over here is really cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys hear the wind? And there's another ferry coming
The
in.
windows are open on here, listen.
Yeah, I know they are.
I want that yacht right there, the black one.
There's 2 things I always recommend you do when visiting any city. One is try to get a view of the city from up high. So whether that be like a Ferris wheel like this, or a really tall building, or a tower like the Space Needle or something.
Like, you could even go to the top of like an office building. Yeah. Not an office building, but like if you can find a really tall building you can go up in.
Yeah, something should have a viewing platform or a restaurant or something. And then the other thing I always recommend, if you're on a city that's on the water, whether it be a river, a lake, like Chicago, or the ocean, is try to get on a boat and see the city from the water. Because cities that are built on water have a very different perspective when you see them from the water than they do when you see them from the land.
And right now we're doing both.
Yeah.
Look at that cool dome.
Oh, that is. Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
Probably a bank.
You're probably a bank.
Okay, so the last thing we're doing today is going on a harbor tour on Argosy Cruises. And apparently, just an announcement, this is a happy hour tour. So I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming they're going to be selling alcohol on the boat. We're excited about seeing this tour, and this will be our last time on the ocean till I don't know when. Or, well, at least this, what is this? The Sound? The Bay? And then we have to go back to the hotel and get our luggage and get to our other hotel that's close to the airport and basically probably go to sleep because we have to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to get over to the airport in time for our flight, which is very, very early. All right, we are aboard the Shalish Explorer, and Ben secured us a nice spot right in the front on the starboard side on deck 2. And they said most of the views of Seattle are going to be on the starboard side when we start out. They also said this is the newest ship in the fleet. Or is this a ship? This looks kind of shippy. That's the second time on this trip we've gotten the newest craft.
It's popcorn.
Yeah. And it's right here. Oh. Yeah, you can scan right here to get the menu. there's a snack bar right back there. And then deck 1 was really similar, but there weren't these chairs in the middle. It was just kind of open. You can also go out on the bow. And it's very windy outside.
Very windy ship.
Yeah, we're rocking a lot.
Welcome aboard the Salish Explorer for our
And then on the top it's
1 hour
completely
harbor
open,
tour.
but it's really bright and
My
sunny
name is
right now.
John. I will be your tour guide once we're underway. I have not yet lost a hat on board a ship. Your bartender Jeremy has lost 1.5 hats at work over the years. The half was he went down into the water to get it back. So he lost one, and then he lost a second and retrieved it. But anyway, I'm a local to Seattle, born and raised. Always happy to share my city with folks, visitor and local alike. Before we get going too
We've had
far,
some
I'm sure
snacks.
many of you already noticed. Currently, directly behind the boat, there's a lot going on. There's a Washington State Ferry, the big white and green boat is leaving the dock behind us, and behind that is a massive cargo container ship with multiple tugboats helping it get to its parking spot. Quite windy. It will be much less windy halfway through when we turn and are headed the other direction and are going with the wind. It'll be much nicer. Yeah, just be aware the chairs might try and move around. We'll do our best to stop that. My favorite, so yeah, the pier is off to the right or starboard side of the boat. My favorite one to visit, other than the one I work at, is the one just to the left of the Ferris wheel. It's the aquarium here, the green one with the solar panels on the roof. And the aquarium specializes in local wildlife, so almost everything in there is something we find right in the waters we're traveling on. They pull specimens out from under the pier, show them off for a little bit, and then put them back where they found them.
Do they
Very
really?
sustainable. You see them feed like a giant Pacific octopus, largest species of octopus that doesn't
ship is
happen all the
leaving
time.
right now.
So very cool. My favorite pier to tell stories about, though, is the one to the left of the turquoise and red cruise ship building. It is the gray and mustard yellow building with the red letter E on the roof, the Edgewater Hotel. The Edgewater was built all the way back in 1962, the same year the Space Needle rising up above it was built, for the same purpose, the World's Fair we were hosting. We're expecting about 9 million people to visit the city for the fair, and they would all need a place to stay. We didn't have enough hotels at the time. They figured, we'll build a hotel, we'll build it out over the water, everyone will have a window or balcony over the water, and it'll be the most popular hotel in the city. We'll make our money back 10 times over. We'll be sold out every day of the 6-month fair. So they built their hotel. It was harder to build a hotel over the water, though, than they realized, and they weren't done with construction until about 2 weeks after the fair had ended and everyone had already gone home.
No!
So they needed a new get-rich-quick scheme. They decided to use all the windows and balconies out over the water. They put a bait and tackle shop in their lobby and let people fish out of their bedroom windows.
Oh my gosh.
Might sound fun, except that couple things. The best time to start fishing is sunrise, which is as early as 4:30 in the morning in the summertime. And let's say you actually catch something and you're reeling it up to the 4th floor and this
gonna
fish
take
is
a
now
flight down.
slapping into everyone's windows beneath you, and now you have a live fish in a hotel room. What do you do next? A lot of people didn't think that far.
Oh my gosh, look how windy.
People trying to keep it alive in their bathtubs or just
Oh
chop
my
it up on the carpet or something. So they had to end that practice. You can't do it any longer. Before they did, though, just 2 years after they opened in 1964, the Beatles came to town, famous rock band, and they stayed there. It was the only hotel that would let them stay because Beatlemania was in full force, and all the fans were trying to always break in everywhere the Beatles were staying to meet them. So every other hotel was like, no way, your fans will cause too much damage that we don't want to deal with. The Edgewater was like, we're still desperate for money and surrounded by water on 3 sides. How hard will it be to just put a big fence across the front to keep people out? This is also the point of the tour that will be the windiest for the next 10 minutes or so. That sculpture on top of the hill is called Eagle by Alexander Calder. And a few trees is a white and gray
Expedia.
arch structure. That is a bridge shaped like a strand of DNA
And this
because where Expedia's
Is-
office is now used to be a biotechnology company called Amgen.
It was,
they built that bridge shaped like DNA for their employees to
soybeans
walk
and
across
corn
the
from
train
the
tracks
Midwest.
safely.
Is
Then
the
when
biggest
Expedia moved in,
export
they're
out of
like,
Seattle.
We want to build a brand new bridge. We got this one right here already, and it's really cool. So
This is our cruise ship terminal.
the other pier at the north
Waterfront
end of the
one.
bay with the large
A week
black
ago.
boat Excellence at the end. This is the boat is a fishing boat. This is where you would find the more famous Seattle products: fish, apples,
bilge.
cherries. So this is a cold storage
The
facility
Princess was
and
on this
fish
side.
processing plant.
And we were on the far side.
Very
The
nice and
Quantum
close
of
to
the
shore.
Seas
You get
just
a bit
left
of a
from
wind
here.
break, I think, here.
It's somewhere around here. I can't see it right
So yeah,
now.
then the gray building is the other
Yeah, they were
cruise
parked-
ship
yeah.
terminal. So one cruise ship will
Yeah, we
park
were on the other side.
And this all sits in between Queen Anne Hill behind us and Magnolia Hill, which is on the other side of the gray cruise ship terminal. The area, the valley straight off the right side, is called Interbay. I lived in Seattle for 6 months before they saw Mount Rainier for the first time.
Wow.
So, always great. Very fortunate. Very cool. Her indigenous name, Tahoma, means one of two things depending on the tribe translation.
There's not right here.
One is Mother of the Waters. Many of the freshwater streams.
There's like dry dock here for ships. There's quite a few of them in there actually. I am also happy to report that I just used
All right, we're
restroom.
down here
It's
now,
very clean
all the way
and
to the
nice.
south end of
And
Elliott
there's an
Bay. We're
elevator
going
on this boat.
alongside, off our right side is Vigor Shipyard. Black and white guard there. You'll notice those tugboats have water cannons by their pilot houses, so they double as firefighting boats. They will often escort like oil tankers and stuff, so if there's a fire emergency, they can respond to it. And the tractor tugs, they're super maneuverable, super powerful. How they're able to guide the giant cargo ship, like we will see them in action still, bringing that big ship alongside the dock when we turn into the waterway here. So these small tugboats are like half the size of the boat you're riding on, if not less, are incredibly powerful and maneuverable. So each of the tugboats, or I should say by comparison, so the boat you're riding on, the Salish Explorer, we have, I think, about 700 horsepower across two engines. So two 350 horsepower engines, and they each have a propeller sticking straight out the back. So not too crazy. These tractor tugs, though, like straight ahead of us off the left, we can see them still pushing that big cargo ship into its parking spot there. They have around 6,000 horsepower and have a couple of different propulsion methods depending on the tugboat. Very cool. They often build nests around the city.
Oh, weird.
Colloquially also called the Seahawk, like our
I thought it
sports team.
was a boat. Is it a boat?
Orange. They probably cleaned up deep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Have them following us, just gliding on the wind. We're also, as we leave the cargo shipping area behind us, are going to pass by a couple of cool boats off to the right, these big red, white, and yellow ones. These are 2 out of the 3 icebreakers of the U.S. Coast Guard fleet. So the entire U.S. icebreaker fleet is 3 ships large. We have all of them live here. One is just gone at a shipyard getting work done. The one nearest to us, the Healy, the number 20, it goes to the North Pole every summer, do research under the ice. It's more of a research vessel, and so it's preparing to leave soon for that mission. Tucked further back at the Coast Guard base, the Polar Sea is here every single day. She's decommissioned. She's only used for spare parts now for her identical twin sister. So looking exactly the same as the Polar Sea, the Polar Star, which is the one just getting maintenance done in California, she goes to the South Pole every summer down there when it's winter up here, breaks through the ice to resupply the science bases down in the South Pole. The Polar Star is the most powerful non-nuclear icebreaker in the world. It has 75,000 horsepower across 3 engines. and is able to break about 7 feet of ice, just cruising speed, just driving like we are. She can break up to 7 meters or 21 feet of ice. And how they do that is they just push the front half of the boat up on top of the ice itself, pump all of their fuel from the back of the boat to the front fuel tanks, and then use their own weight to just crush the ice beneath them, sort of inchworm style.
Yeah.
But now we have a clear look at our 2 sports stadiums here on the far south end of the city. On the right side, the charcoal gray building with the sort of lattice on top, that's T-Mobile Park, where the Seattle Mariners play baseball. The other stadium with the white arches and blue roof, that is now behind these red cranes. This is Lumen Field, where the Seattle Seahawks play football, along with the Seattle Sounders of Major League Soccer, the OL Reign of the Women's Professional Soccer League, and the Seattle Sea Dragon. For those who don't know, a typewriter is like a computer without a screen that only does Word documents, and it can't delete anything. And he got rich selling those, wanted Seattle to be like New York of the West Coast, iconic buildings. So we built this tower back in 1914. It was the tallest building west of the Mississippi River at 434 feet tall. Tallest building in Seattle for 48 years until the Space Needle was built. Been a fully functional office building its entire life. The pyramid at the top, though, used to hide a water tower. Now it is a 1-unit, 3-floor apartment that someone lives in.
Oh, weird.
The base of the pyramid, though, is my favorite observation deck in the city. It's like $19. You take the original 1914 elevator up there, 360-degree outdoor walkway, and inside the building on the 35th floor is a 1920s themed bar with some cool Prohibition-era cocktails and stuff up there. The only catch is that they are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. They open for happy hour 3 p.m. on Wednesday through Sunday. But I'm going to sign off here. We're passing on Washington State Ferry. Again, it's hollow all the way through. Oh, that's super weird. There are cars driving off one direction, but there are already cars pointed this direction. So the ferries are so busy that they're double-ended. The front is the back, the back's the front. They can drive from either end. There's even a propeller under the water on both ends. So it's really interesting to see cars driving off one way, and they already have cars coming on pointing the other direction. So anyway, I'm not just your tour guide, I'm also the deckhand, so I have to run downstairs real quick and tie up the boat. Hope you all enjoyed the last hour. I will be there at the ramp, though, to say goodbye to each and every one of you, and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, big round of applause for John. Way to go.
Hi, okay, I'm not going to give you a separate room tour video for this room because we're not even going to be here for like 6 hours. But this is the Hilton, what is this? This is the Hilton Conference Center by the airport. It's huge and it's quite fancy. I chose it because of its proximity to the airport. It has a 24-hour shuttle, but she did still suggest we reserve a spot so they know we need the shuttle. We need it at 3:30 a.m. and it's about 7 p.m. right now. It is a very pretty hotel and it was quite busy out in the lobby area, and it's a Monday, but it's a full convention hotel. Our room is about 100 miles from the lobby. So we need to check. When you guys go to the fitness center,
Yep.
please check if they have luggage carts.
Sure thing.
Because if they do, we need one in the morning. I'm very concerned that I've moved my stuff around and just really crammed things into my suitcase, my big suitcase, and I'm really concerned it's overweight. I just about dislocated my elbow dragging it down here. This is a nice room, similar to the Hilton that we stayed at in Washington, D.C. in June of 2021, which there's a video about that on my channel, link up here. This is 2 king beds, which is really nice for us because then we have more space. This room feels absolutely enormous compared to our cruise ship cabin. But Megan said something about the bathroom. Megan, what did you say?
This is the most poorly designed bathroom I have ever seen in my entire life. We have stayed in a lot of hotels, and
Yes.
I've never seen anything like this. I sometimes read articles for fun about like, ooh, world's worst design fails. This bathroom is exactly like something I would find in those articles.
Okay, so it's a very poorly designed bathroom. So we're on the first floor, but they're very concerned about security. It even says locked. Got a little sign here. But there's this really pretty patio out here with like pathways. And there seem to be a couple of these little courtyards outside. We had a good day today. We did all the stuff down by the waterfront. We got to go to the aquarium. We got to do the wings over Washington. We did the Ferris wheel, and we did our harbor tour. It was a nice, good day down by the water. I'm still not feeling great. It's mainly just my throat, really, and my nose just keeps running. I keep having to blow my nose, and it's all sore now from me blowing it, but we're done with this trip. We're just here at the hotel for a quick sleep tonight, and then we have to get the 3:30 a.m. shuttle to the airport in the morning because our flight is at 6, and you should get to the airport at least 2 hours ahead of your flight, so we have to be there before 4. They said it's about a 7-minute drive away. So anyway, and then we should be home by lunch. Well, not home. We'll be back to the Minneapolis airport by lunch. Yeah, we still have to drive some after that. Yeah, my car. Forgot about it. I forgot about my car. But I hope you enjoyed this series of videos from our cruise to Alaska and our time spent visiting Seattle. If you liked this video or found it helpful or interesting or enjoyed it at all, please be sure to give us a thumbs up down below. And I have absolutely no idea what we're doing next. We currently have nothing booked, and I'm trying hard not to think about it because if I do it, it's just going to make me really, really sad. There's a lot of things I want to do, but this trip was really expensive. We're actually thinking that this trip cost us more than the 20 some days we spent in Europe last summer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we think this trip was more expensive.
Well, especially because we had more people.
Yeah, we had more people, and Seattle was just terribly expensive.
Awful. Like,
Yeah, Seattle was insane. Especially the food.
Yeah.
The food was just
$65 for 3 microwave meals?
Yeah. I mean, our lunch today, $93. I mean, for, quick lunch at...
A couple sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. So, yeah, so just be prepared. I don't know if that's a all the time thing or if it's just a tourist area thing, but Seattle proved to be extremely expensive. And then flights are just terrible right now. Shore excursions to Alaska are very expensive. If you're planning a trip to Alaska, cruise to Alaska, you have to factor in a very high price for shore excursions. I mean, actually, I spent almost as much on shore excursions as I did on the entire cruise for at least the 4 of us, me and my 3 kids, which I paid for those 4 people. My dad paid for some of himself. He doesn't know that. He thinks he paid for his whole self, but I actually paid for a good chunk of his cruise fare. He did buy his own plane ticket. And he did buy us dinner a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah, in Seattle after we got off the ship, so... But anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this series. We don't know what we're doing next, but if you want to make sure that you find out first, be sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you be one of the first people to find out what we do next. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone, and safe travels.
Safe travels.